just now that actually there are people who are researching on new technology to actually minimize the impact of, say, for example, dyeing clothes. So I think I read somewhere that you can actually spray dye onto clothing without using the chemicals. I think with using ozone or even CO2, if I remember correctly. That's still being researched. So eventually, hopefully, that will be available for manufacturers. And the part about smart technology, some people actually believe that it's a way for people to value their clothes because, like with wearables, it becomes part of who you are because it's used to monitor, I believe, the body capture data with the environment. So this is interaction between the environment, the person who's wearing it, and whoever wants to monitor you, so-called. So there is value in it, but again, it boils down to how the person values the clothes and how long it will last. Can it, like you could say, last for generations? Are we designing the clothes so that they're longer lasting? Yeah, thanks. Anyone?
I'm not in the clothing industry, but very fascinating facts that we learned today. So I guess I'm not sure if it's by surprise that all three of you are females sitting up here talking about this topic. So in your industry, I guess I'm not sure if you see a more vocal side talking about such issues from females, or do you see that? I don't know. I mean, it's just a observation and maybe just a thinking thought, because females generally like to share their ideas and connect.
Well, yeah. So I have a brand, and I used to work. I mean, my entire career is with the garment industry. So no matter how much clothes you make, women shop more. That's a fact, you know. Like women buy more things than men. So, but I think this is just a coincidence that, you know, it just so happens. I mean, Ray is here, the other guy. Yeah, and like I'm actually a co-founder of my brand, and like my business partner is a guy. So, you know, it's like 50-50. But if you think about the industry, you know, all the factory workers, maybe there are slightly more women. But I mean, in terms of the factory that I'm working with, there are guys who are working, and I work with this like really small certified factory in India, and there are men and women who work there. You know, I wouldn't know, but I'm sure this is just how it just happens today. And yeah, it's like an equally important issue for all of us, but maybe for women we might feel closer to the issue because we do buy more. That is a fact, and you know, we do care about how we look and dress up and all that. So yeah.
Maybe I add a little bit. I do agree. Women shop more, but I think you brought up an interesting point. As the fashion trend has moved to such that men buys more now as well. So I think they don't really think that they should just wear a shirt, but they start to realize how that shirt should look like. The print, the collar should be doubled, or the sleeve should be shorter. You know, the bodice should be tighter. Blah blah. So I think if you look into, I mean, guys here, if you look into your wardrobe, you start to realize or compare with your father's wardrobe. I think he got a few very, very well cut shirts, but we maybe got more, you know, more like, you know, from Topshop or H&M, and they're not well cut. You know, they're not well cut, and they fade. The color fades after a few wash. Yeah, something like that. So I think yes, there are. I mean, in my profession, and I do meet students and graduates who are male, and yeah, and I also spot the true fact that men don't just wear a t-shirt or a polo t-shirt anymore. They start to look at different cuts. Yes? Do you agree? Do you agree?
Okay, in behalf of men, all this, yeah, I mean, like, the time is evolving now. We just don't want to settle in shirts, but we would want to be as well fashionable. So it's actually in Singapore, the people who are buying online are actually guys as compared to women. So yeah. So yeah.
Hi, I'm actually someone who embraces second-hand clothes very much. I started off receiving hand-me-downs from my sister, so I have lots of second-hand clothes as well, and I help out at my church thrift shop. So to me, second-hand shopping is it's very normal. I will have lots of clothes in my wardrobe that is not mine. It's not mine first-hand. It's just second-hand, and to me that's, yeah, I'm environmentalist in that sense. So so as someone who wants to do her part to sustainable fashion, sometimes when I do shopping, I was like, oh, okay, it is organic, right? So, oh, let's go for the organic option. But organic option normally costs like 3-4 times more than a typical outfit that I could possibly get something similar to it. And I look at that price and I'm like, maybe not. Yeah. So I think it's not just clothes, but even like pen or any stationery that's made from recycled materials or things like that usually cost more than normal. Yeah, and if the consumer wants to support, wants to do her part or do his part to support and choose a more sustainable like paper, recycled paper, but I mean money is still a very important aspect of the whole thing. So I think that's something that we are struggling with. Paying more or the same amount can get a lot more. Yeah, so yes, of course, Singapore, there's lots of malls, we do shopping, we say our pastime is shopping, and I would think that sometimes because we don't see the effects of it, like what you mentioned, we don't see it right in front of our eyes, we were just like, oh, it's sale, oh good, yay, let's grab it. And so we will, or maybe there is like, oh, this Raza Plaza that collects, oh, we were like, oh, okay, that's so sad. But after that, when the sale comes along, we were like, oh, so great, do you see that sale, let's go shopping. So I think it's, I think everyone needs to play our part in it as well. And I don't know whether would it ever be possible that organic option will be as good. I mean, the price will be the same as normal. But that's going to be very tricky. Yeah, that's one. Second one is, I'm wondering what is the fashion industry like in Singapore? What is their take on sustainable fashion? Is it only a small minority, like all of you here, a small minority, or what is the take on sustainable fashion in Singapore as a whole? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Very good questions. Organic products will always be more expensive, and it wouldn't be able to lower its costs because there's an environment and people's lives to be protected. So the fast fashion has managed to lower their prices because you saw the aeroplane flying through the cotton fields and they're blasting all these pesticides and all that, and killing birds and fish and deformed children drinking that contaminated water. So that's the cost of it, and that is why the film's title is True Cost. Now, Agatha was saying that people used to buy a lot less before, but they were paying good price for it. You know, they only maybe bought like 4 or 5 items a year, and that would have costed like, you know, $50 or $100, and they would be able to wear it for 5, 10 years. And right now we buy things for like, you know, $5 or $10, and it only lasts us for 3 to 6 months. And we buy maybe things when you go out and hang out with your friends like every week. So, you know, yeah, organic cotton products unfortunately is not gonna be cheaper, and it shouldn't be, because we have an environment and people's lives to protect at stake here. Yeah, and maybe you can answer about the fashion industry in Singapore.
Yeah, you mentioned fashion industry in Singapore, whether are we aware of this environmental or organic material? I mean, we are, but there is a very small group of us. I mean, my attempt when I had this bamboo fiber on hand, I was very excited because it's the first time I felt that material. The hand feel was really good, and then again I was told how this fabric was made about. Bamboo was shipped from China to Vietnam, and then they were, you know, beat up in the machine, and then kind of refined into yarn, soft fiber and yarn, and then sent to Thailand to be spun into fabric and weaved into fabric. So through that process from Chinese planting the bamboo in China to waiting for them to grow, and then shipped to Vietnam and passed down to Thailand and then sell to